Seniors don't want to give up freedom. True or false?
Oh, very true. No one wants to give up their freedom.
So, what are you doing about it to make sure that they still feel like they have freedom and they still have dignified care?
I think it's important for people to realize and remember that retirement communities are not what they used to be, and you should really go out there while you're still able before you get into a crisis situation and see what the options are, see what the different amenities are. There's lots of good options, and Sioux Falls has great senior living communities around town. Edgewood itself has three communities serving the east and west side and a memory care off of South Louise. So there's a lot of great options. And seniors can come and go as they please. They can drive. We have residents that work still part-time and live in the community just for that extra layer of support, or maybe a spouse needs that extra layer of support and the other spouse is more independent, but they still want to live together and thrive. So there's a lot more freedoms in senior living than I think the cliches are.
From the legal side, why do they need help?
Well, part of that, like you were saying, was everyone wants to make sure that what they want to have happen happens, and that's ensuring that freedom again. But what we have to worry about is what happens if you lose capacity. What happens if mom and dad loses capacity?
How would you define capacity?
That we're concerned about is legal capacity, to be able to make healthcare decisions, to be able to make living decisions as far as where would you reside, what type of quality of life factors do you want. So in order to make sure that's preserved and that you're taken care of like you want to be, you've also got to do that legal.
You guys were at an Active Generations Expo, and you had some excellent questions. Can you kind of share without giving away who told you or what they said? But I think the general subject matter is important to our audience.
I think overall people are very concerned about the high costs of nursing home care. On average in South Dakota, that's $83,000. So one of the questions we always get hit with that's very common is there a way to protect assets from those high costs of long-term care and still have the quality of life, make sure that our needs are taken care of?
Now, the other thing is the planning in advance. It was like this weekend, and I'm thinking about the conversation we had last week and the week before. My mom's 92, lost her husband, and she is, I haven't made my plans. In and out of assisted living, 3,000 square foot home, living in it by herself. And after we talked, she finally ordered a monument. I mean, Dad's been gone 3 months, and she said, well, I guess I should do this. Brought in the family. Bringing in the family, talking about what you're going to do, how you want it done, Bobbi, is pretty important.
On our side, on the legal side, we're seeing an increase, usually around 20 to 30% kind of are the statistics now we're now seeing as far as estates plans being disputed. So it's important, again, not only for mom and dad to make sure that their wishes are fulfilled and protected, but also for the children. We don't want any of the children to end up suing each other or to...
And that happens.
That happens too often. And that's one of them, but the other end of that is just having those relationships lost. Having a good legal plan in place protects from that.
It wasn't on my calendar. May is National Elder Law Month. What should I know about that?
People don't know what elder law planning even is. So the month of May, we like to celebrate that and get that information out there. A lot of people know what estate planning is, but elder law planning is really meant for specifically addressing issues of seniors. What happens if they lose capacity? Making sure that their wishes are fulfilled. It's asset protection planning, and it's even Medicaid planning.
I'm seeing, and we'll get Brandy involved in this one, approximately 70% of people over 65 will need some type of long-term care services. That's where you guys come in.
Well, there's a wide gamut of services that people might need. So like I said, I think it's important for people to do the research ahead of time while they're still able to make some of those decisions, from anywhere from home health to independent living to assisted living to memory care communities. There are lots of options besides a skilled nursing home, which to me kind of should be someone's last resort or a family's last resort. And as Bobbi said, all too often we see situations where on a side of an assisted living, we will only communicate with the POA, and there'll be other siblings calling in, and well, my POA, my brother won't tell me that information. So it's really important for those seniors to plan ahead and pick ahead and communicate with everyone involved what their plans and options
We've got about
will be.
2.5 minutes, and you guys got some upcoming events that can include a lot of people out there. So let's start with Edgewood. What do you have coming up?
In June 21st is the longest day, and that is in coordinates with Alzheimer's Association and really what it's like to live with that disease and suffer through those very long days. So we will be doing two events. We will have an ice cream social at Active Generations on June 19th from 7 to 9 p.m. and all proceeds will go to benefit our walk team, the Edgewood Walk Stars for the Alzheimer's Association, as well as we'll do a butterfly release on the 21st with an educational seminar. And that information can be found on our Facebook.
We actually got to see Tim McGraw and Faith Hill in Nashville years ago. They were much younger, a couple of faces and facelifts younger. But, you know, you've got some things working with them that you want to share this morning.
Yeah, so Legacy Law Firm is going to be giving away 2 free tickets to the Tim McGraw and Faith Hill concert. All you have to do is like the Legacy Law Firm Facebook page and enter a chance to win. So we're hoping that a lucky pair will enjoy that
Mom
concert.
and Dad leaving the room. Shall we leave them with something? Is there something you want to share?
You know, really, if your children and concerned about parents, or if you're those parents that just haven't really taken that step yet, I'd highly encourage you guys to look and find out what is elder law planning. Make that free initial consultation. If it's not with us, do it with someone else because you're worth it. And your parents are worth it. And also to protect against any lawsuits and again that keeping that family intact. Because at the end of the day, usually that's the legacy that everyone wants to
30% of estate plans wind up in court with a judge deciding what's in the middle, what's the gray matter.
Correct. Yep. It's important to do that elder law planning.
All right, we should have touched a lot of bases this morning. I think we hit 2 home runs. But if people have questions, how do they find
They
you?
can look us up at edgewoodseniorliving.com or like us on Facebook.
And they can look us up at legacylawfirmpc.com. And we've got a bunch of resources regarding this area planning too.
Now, we would encourage you to do something about it. The alternative to not needing this, you don't want to talk about. That's where you need the monument. You want to be able to keep your loved ones enjoying life. That's what this segment is about. We appreciate the 2 of you being here, telling the story, and even asking the parents to leave the room for just a minute. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bo.
Phil.